Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 154. So we had an eventful 2 or 3 days, starting back on Wednesday with the poker, and then Tuesday with the poker, and then Wednesday and Thursday with my overnight, including poker, blackjack, slots, all kinds of stuff happening there. And then I finished up my episodes yesterday and noticed that there were problems with things not showing up in Apple again. So starting back today, I am totally abandoning the new MP3 recorder. I'm going back to my whatever this is called, Wave recorder, and then I'm just going to convert the file one time, so it wasn't worth having that other app. So we're going to try that today. I did notice that the 3 episodes I uploaded yesterday, one of them I fixed, and then 2 of them I uploaded yesterday. 2 of those 3 episodes have the wrong playtime in Apple, so I don't know why. Hopefully, now that I'm back to my original recording method, that will be fixed. But I actually went on Apple and listened to one of those episodes all the way through. It got back to the last, almost exactly 30 minutes, and it ended the episode as it should have, just the time was wrong. So I don't know what the deal is there. Yesterday, I ended up with 9 meetings. The last one finally got canceled, which I was taking from home at that time. So that got moved to today, which already had 6 meetings. So that makes today kind of difficult. I actually contemplated just staying home because of that, because there's going to be such a big block of time in the middle of my day that is going to be gone, basically. I also thought about not leaving home until 11:30 this morning because there's going to be so much time that I'm going to be sitting in a parking lot. But I decided against it, and here's the reason why. Right now, 6:30 in the morning, I'm heading to my first casino. I'm going to get there in time to do 1 meeting, and then I'm going to have a 2.5-hour block of meetings, and then I believe I'm going to have a half hour with nothing, and then more meetings. So the plan is I go to my first casino, I get that taken care of, and then on my way to my second casino, I will easily make it because 2.5 hours. But there's always the possibility that meetings will be canceled. And if I'm already at a casino, I can pop in there real quick, check machines or something, and come back to the car. And there's a possibility an hour meeting might be canceled. And then I might be able to get a blackjack session in. So that's what's going on right now. So the goal is going to be go to the first casino, spend 2.5 hours after that, actually 2 hours after that, going to the next casino, so that I'll easily be sitting in the parking lot for 45 minutes. And then I'll have an hour break, and I do my first blackjack session, won't be till afternoon. And then I'll have a half-hour meeting, and then I can continue on my other casinos, and do my last meeting on the way home. So I told my wife it's going to be a late night, but honestly, if I don't go anywhere Sunday, which I hope I do, but if I don't go anywhere Sunday, this will be my last real out of town, because Monday and Tuesday are always close to home. So that's what's going on right now. It is 70 degrees outside. The sun is coming up. Looks like a very cloudy day. It rained a lot last night. A lot of noise outside. I don't see any damage out, so that's all good. My kids actually thought the power was going to go out last night because there was so much rain coming down. We're actually lucky because we live in an area where there's no power lines. They're all buried. So unless something happens like 10 miles away from us, usually we don't lose power, which of course is good. All right, so that's what's going on right now. I am heading to my first casino. I will need gas between my first casino and second casino. which is right when I have all that time to do those meetings. So I haven't woken up my mouth yet this morning. All right, letting you go. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So went to that casino and really found very little. I found one play initially. It paid me a profit of $80, and then found one more on the way out that I lost $13, and then that was about it. And the worst part of it is that right now I've got plenty of time. Later on I'm going to have no time, but I had 25 more minutes if I wanted it, where I could do whatever I wanted because I have no meetings. Now I'm going to be on that road during that half hour, and then when I finally stop, it's going to be all meetings that whole time. So unfortunately, that's a pain, but that's where we are right now. Somebody was there, but I feel like they didn't get there till after I was there, because I went back to a couple machines just to verify on my way out, and I noticed that they had been marked where they weren't before. So yeah, unfortunately there was nothing else available there. Now I do need to get gas. Man, prices are so high now. I'm just not understanding it. I'm looking at the price of oil, and it's not high, it's actually low. And actually today more bad economic news came out, and still gas prices are awful. So anyway, I'm going to continue on to the next casino. On the way there, within the next 30 minutes, I'll have to get gas, and then I will be sitting in a casino forever in the parking lot, waiting for all these meetings to end, hoping that one or more than one of these will be canceled, and then I'll be able to get in and try to make some money. I mean, we've salvaged this week from junk to, we're up like whatever, 7,500 for the week. I'd hate to come all this way to make a few hundred, but hey, any profit is a good profit, and just do my best to get as much time as I can in today before heading home. So letting you go right now. I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. So here's the current situation. Right now it's raining outside, heavy rain, and I'm on a road that has a lot of construction, very congested, and I think I'll be able to get to this casino in the next 15 minutes or so, and that will leave me. So I was just in a meeting that finished up very early, and I think what's going to happen is when I get to this casino, because I'm going to change course to get to this casino because it's closer, I should have about 35 minutes of time before my next meeting. I already notified the person in charge of the next meeting that I could be a couple minutes late, so that gives me a little bit of leeway. And the plan is just to go in and see if there's any kind of low-hanging fruit in this casino, because I'm not going to have a ton of time. So I will run through the slots, and I doubt I'll play blackjack. I may, like if I walk up and there's an empty table right there, and that's one of the first things I see, I may sit down and try to get 35 or 40 minutes in before I go back to my car for the meeting. I'm trying to hurry over there right now to get that much time in. And then I've got two meetings back to back at the total of an hour, and then I'll have a short break. And if I do get blackjack in at this casino, I will probably just step back in again and just look at slots, and then I'll have one or two meetings I'll do on the phone on the way to the next one. So kind of complicated, kind of fluid right now, but we're getting on it here. We're going to try to squeeze in a session. I'd love to make $500 or $600 in that 40 minutes, and really stick it to them at work. So anyway, that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, walking back to my car right now. Decided to play a few slots, and then I hopped on a blackjack table.
thinking I could just make something happen in half an hour or so. Big mistake. I did end up ahead 267 on the slots, but at this point I had to pick up my chips and run to the car with the blackjack because I just ran out of time. Right now I'm in the middle of a session and I am down $1,000, an even thousand. So right now my meeting is starting in 1 minute, so I gotta hop on that meeting and then I'll go in and finish that session. Hopefully fight back and get back to even or ahead. I would be happy with that. But plus 267 on the slots so far. Blackjack not finalized yet. I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. Do you like that sigh to start the recording? That's always a good thing, right? You always know I had a great time. Now, I'm still at the same casino. I'm just leaving now. I went back to the same pit. I had 1,000 in chips in my hand. I was down 1,000, and I went to the car, took care of a few meetings. Then I went back to the table, and I had another hour before the next meeting, and I actually missed the next meeting. So not the greatest idea, but I did miss the next meeting. Doesn't look like much came out of it anyway. So I sit down at the table with that 1,000, and I'm going nowhere. And after about 2 shoes, I've got a big negative count, and I switched tables. I'm still at that same 1,000 at that point. I had moved up to about 18 or 1900 and came back down again and was just hanging around that same 1,000. Then when I switched tables, I sit down there, everything's going fine. I'm playing, doing okay, slowly making a little bit of money, and then I'd have a collapse. And I would be down 800, 700, 600. This is overall between the 2 shifts, 2 sessions. And then I'd be down 3,000. Then back to 300, 400, 500 away, back to 3,000. And just could not get anything going. And I was spreading from one hand at 100 to 2 hands at 600. And for 2 shoes back to back, I went from nothing to huge counts, enormous counts. And I'm starting to pay attention to this ace low thing that I was talking about last time, where if you have a bunch of aces clumped together with a bunch of low cards, that's just a recipe for disaster for the player. And I'm starting to notice them more. I don't know if I'm noticing them more just because I'm looking for them or not, but it didn't help to see that with my frustration level the way it was. So I ended up buying in for a total of 9,000 at that table, and at one point I won like 4 or 5 big hands in a row, and I was looking good, and then big drop again. And it's just amazing to me how much of a swing you can get sometimes. And then at one point I was ahead 400, and I was like, man, just get me to the end of the shoe. It's a positive count. Just get me to the end of the shoe and I'm out of here. And by the end of the shoe, I was down almost 4,000 again. And finally I ended up leaving down 4,000, and I was just frustrated. I had exposed my top bets for 2 shoes in a row, back to back, and a lot of craziness. And the pit, 2 guys from the pit were standing around talking to me, being super nice, which is never a good thing. And finally I just decided I gotta go. So gonna book a loss here, minus 4,000. Didn't play any slots, and just had the kinds of things that I saw. It's just like, you got a 19 against a 4, 6, 9, you're like, oh boy, it's gonna be a push. 13, 15, 20, you're like, wait, it's a plus 18 running count with 2.5 decks to go, and you get all these little cards back to back to back and find a way to beat me. It's like, that's the frustrating part. It's not I have 19 against a 10 and they turn over a 10. It's when the count is right and they have the card they need to bust, and then all of a sudden they pull some garbage and somehow find a way to destroy you. That's the part that hurts me the most. So anyway, right now I'm going to continue on to another casino. I'm going to get some food while I'm there, and then I'll come back and, hopefully I'll have some good news for you at that time. So I'll be back. All right, guys, let me catch you up on some stuff here. So, of course, I'm steaming after that big loss, but still going around doing my normal stuff, trying to make money. And don't listen to any of the machines behind me. I'm just walking by places. It's not like anything you should look up or try to make money off of. Please don't do that and lose money. But so I go to the next spot and sit down at the blackjack table there, buy in for 500, lose that. It's like it was erased off the face of the earth. Another 500 gone. Higher count, buy in for another 1,000. I'm in for 2,000. And I'm down to about 400 before things finally turn around. And I beat them up. I'm ahead of $1,000. I'm like, I'm going to keep going. Count's still good. I'm going. And then I'm down another 1,500 again. So back and forth, and I finally end up leaving after exposing my 2x500, and I'm ahead $1,000 there. I did play some slots. I only put in $15 total in the machines. I only found a couple small plays and ended up ahead $74 on that. So plus 1,000 on the blackjack, chipping away at it, and plus 74 on the slots. And I am at another casino right now getting ready to play some blackjack, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. I was trying to record this a minute ago, but my battery was too low on my phone. It wouldn't let me record. But moved into another place. That's the one you just heard me in. I was telling you about the place before. I ended up finding a blackjack table. There was only 2 playable tables there. One of them was halfway through the shoe, so I wasn't going to sit there. The other one only had 1 or 2 hands played, so I sat down there and started playing. And I was there for about half an hour, but couldn't really get anything going. The count stayed negative all the time. My biggest bet was 100, I think, maybe 150. Couldn't really get anything going, so I ended up leaving halfway through a shoe. I had 500, so still chipping away, but have a long way to go. Unfortunately, I'm limited now as to what I can do because I've kind of been everywhere on the shift already, and the one place I was spreading like crazy, I really can't go back there right now. I will go back there in a little while to cash out more chips, but I'm not going to be able to sit down at any kind of reasonable blackjack table because they're all in the same pit, and it's going to be the same people there, so that's not going to be good. So yeah, I went and looked at slots as well, and I couldn't find any plays at all, so no help there. And right now I'm still pretty frustrated that I can't get anything going for the day. I just have to keep on going. That's all I can do. Keep on going. And I probably should have left even earlier than I did at that first blackjack table due to frustration. But it wasn't that the counts weren't good. It wasn't that I was playing wrong. It was just that the results were just bad, and I couldn't help it. And anyway, right now I'm gonna head to another casino. Gonna see if I can get 45 minutes or an hour in, try to make another $1,000 back if I can, and then we'll figure out what to do from there. So letting you go right now. I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. So at this casino in particular today, I'd already cashed out their limit for the day, and there is a cashier there who kind of keeps track, and will call you out if you try to cash more. Now, they'll reluctantly still let you cash out more without ID, but makes a big deal out of it every time. So I try to avoid that. But shoot, actually, I still had these other ones. Let's see, damn it. All right. Anyway, so I had $1,000 in chips. Actually, $1,050. I forgot about this 50, and I just forgot the cash. I bought in for 500, and that lasted 4 hands. 3 losing hands and a losing double down hand. So you can hear my frustration. So the count was going up right away. So I raise my bet, get a double down, lose that one. I'm down 500 like instantly. I'm like, there is no point today that I had an easy go of it. No point at all. It's always been like this today. And there's days like that. There's some days are so easy, and other days are just, you cannot make money no matter what you do. And of course, I'm still chasing. I'm still chasing the money from earlier. Not like chasing, but I'm I want to try to get that money back, because today was supposed to be a day to build on what we did yesterday and the day before, and to do better. And anyway, bought in for the other $500 chip and lost that. Bought in for 500 cash and lost that. Bought in, well, I didn't lose that. I bought in for that 500, so I was in 15, and I had a $300 hand, which was a double down hand. So I rebought another 500, which put me in a total of 2,000. I won that hand, and then I hung around between like 1,800 and 2,400 for a long time. So I was ahead, but just not able to move the football much more than that. So, and that's the frustrating part, because in this session, I had good counts the whole time. Nice counts, true 2, true 2.5, true 3, back to 2, back to 3. So, that's a nice sweet spot too. And I'm not bashing, true 5s and 6s, but true 5s and 6s, what happens a lot of times is what happened to me earlier. You put out your big bets, and you end up with a high hand, a high card and a low card, and you're dead, because it's a true 6, and you got no shot. No matter what you hit, you're gonna bust. Whoever hits first busts. But anyway, I got to plus 1,100. The count was still good. I kept on playing, got down to plus like 22, 23, somewhere in there, and then ended the shoe plus 1,100. And I'm worried that I'm on the wrong road here. I guess I'm not. Why is the exit number going that direction? I'll find out here in a second if I'm going the right direction or not. No, I think I'm okay. So I ended up getting up ahead 1,100. So I've got 3,100 in chips, which is really 3,150, but I forgot about that other 50. And no way to cash it. So I called a friend, and just as I called him and he picked up, his friend was right there in front of me checking a machine, and I'm like, sweet, let me ask. So I asked her, and she said, no problem. She said, what's the limit here before they need your ID? She's like the top tier, so she's not worried, but she just doesn't want a bunch of stuff on her account if she doesn't have to. She's probably cashed 30,000 in chips for me. She doesn't want to make it look like she played nothing and somehow got 30,000 in chips. So she went and cashed the 2,000 for me, and then I noticed the time, and my buddy that always wants to push the issue had just left like a minute before. So I stood near the line, and when it was empty, I walked up to a cashier, and I got that 1,100 cashed. So I still have $50 from there. I have a lot of chips from the other places. Traffic is very congested. It's pretty early, actually. It's rush hour traffic, but it's still kind of early. At this point, I don't know what else to do. I've got one place where I've pretty much bought in for the limit, and I've spread like crazy. I don't want to push the issue. I got another place that has bad rules. They only had they had 2 tables open, but I just left there. And then I got this place that I hit twice in the last 4 hours. So I think it might be time to move on. So I think I'm going to head another direction and go somewhere else and see what I can do there. Still down for the day, but recovered a little bit of it. Sometimes I feel like just staying away from blackjack for a while and seeing how things go. Maybe slots and poker for a little while. I'm starting to get a lot better, actually, at poker. Something just clicked in my mind recently about poker. And part of it, I think, is I've been watching Daniel Negreanu's videos, and half the time I roll my eyes. I'm like, how can you make that play? Because he's like, oh, it's 51% to 49. I'm all in. And it's like, you can't do that because, okay, he's the expert. He's got millions of dollars. I don't, right? But when you're dealing with a large amount of money and not a lot of ways to rebuy, he's playing in a tournament. There's 1 or 2 or maybe 3 tournaments in a day, and he's all in. He's out after 5 minutes. I think he should do some kind of Kelly betting type thing with poker in tournaments. Not bet 1% of your stack when you're ahead 1%, but there's got to be some kind of a smart way to do that. To me, it's an increment of how much money is in the pot. Obviously, half the pot, 3/4 of the pot, 1 pot, the full pot. But he would go nuts with it. But I've been watching those videos for a couple of years, and I started seeing, what a good hand is. And when you're at the table and you're not good at poker, and you've got 2 pair, and there's a pair on the board, then you're like, oh, he probably has one of those, I'm folding. And people bluff you all the time, but you got to stop and think about what is the chance that person has a 2 in their hand. How could they have had a 2 something in their hand and continued on until this point? And that goes back to that book, Let There Be Range, and I've got a copy of that, and that used to sell, I don't know what it sells for now, but for like $1,000 for like an 80 or 100 page book. And it makes more sense now. I've heard it for a long time, and I've heard people talking about it for a long time, and I thought I understood it for a long time, but now I feel like I understand it a lot more, about what the person's starting range could be. And the other thing is, I think it can although it's getting harder to win at poker, I think it's getting easier to win at poker too, because everyone is moving toward this perfect way to play, and they're memorizing all these charts and stuff, and it kind of gives me a little bit of an advantage the way I play. So I feel like I'm doing better at poker. So anyway, 84 degrees outside, cloudy. It's been raining on and off the whole day, so it's been kind of a not nice day inside and outside. But I'm going to continue on, and we'll see if we can make some more money somewhere else. I'm going to sit back and relax. It's going to be an hour and a half before my next stop, so I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm a little bored here. I'm stuck in traffic, doing 17 miles an hour right now on a 70-mile-an-hour highway. And I was just looking at my stuff for the week here. Do you know that Wednesday morning to Thursday morning, I walked like 24,000 steps and made about $6,700. So this is like 2 out of 3 weeks in a row that I'm averaging, like, this time it was about 28 cents a step, which is kind of interesting to put it that way, because when you're looking at machines, you're walking, and find very little, but to kind of put it in context of steps is kind of interesting to me. All kinds of stats are interesting to me. But right now, I don't even know what mile marker I'm at, where we are. But I feel like I am about half an hour away from the next casino once things clear up. Let me see what the sign says over here. Yeah, so about half an hour away from the next casino. And once I get through this traffic, we'll get over there, try to make a little bit of money. I might even play some blackjack there and see what I can do. And definitely going to hit the slots there. And, hopefully we have some good variance. I think for the day I'm down maybe 800 or 900. So if I can make that much or even half that much, I'm okay with it. I really struggled this morning with whether or not I was going to go anywhere because of all the meetings going on and all that. But I guess I made the wrong decision. Anyway, letting you go right now, and I'll be back. I knew you were missing me, so I wanted to give you an update here. This is an hour later, and I still haven't gotten there yet. I've been in traffic all this time. It finally just cleared up, so hopefully I will be at the casino in the next 5 minutes, but it is crazy. The rain is back. The temperature has dropped 14 degrees since I talked to you last an hour ago, and the rain is back. There's multiple accidents. You know how it is. Nobody knows how to drive. They're all talking into their phone and doing podcasts and stuff instead of paying attention to the road. So anyway, I'll be in this place shortly, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. So just leaving this casino, and it was a madhouse in there. Busy everywhere. I mean, the bar was busy, the restaurants were busy, the deli was busy, tables were packed, slots were packed, loud, everything you could imagine. It was all going on in there. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to play too many things. I played 2 machines. One of them I made $10, and the other one I made $231. So overall for the session, I ended up ahead $241. So we're still underwater for the day, but what are you going to do? When I was walking in from the parking garage, a young, I'd say late 20s, black man, skinny guy, and he's watching me walk in. He's like, man, I wish I could walk like that. And I look over, and he's on crutches. So I talked to him for a few minutes, and he tells me that he's been shot twice this year, once in March and once in June, and had surgery on his leg. And he's been on the crutches since March. And I'm like, how'd you get shot twice? I said, I'd be going to church more often. He goes, I go to church every Sunday. He goes, that's just the way the city is, you know what I mean? I'm like, no. I guess he was in a bar, and both times they were trying to shoot someone else, and he got shot. So that's terrible. Terrible. Man. Whew. That's awful. Anyway, I did get some food while I was in there as well, and we'll go over our segments now. What did you eat today, MW? This morning, well, I guess it was lunchtime, after I won the $1,000 after the big loss, I had some General Tso's chicken extra spicy, and it was mediocre. I should give the food like a rating. How should I do it? Like ace would be the best thing, and a deuce would be the worst? Or should I do it like blackjack, double down? Yeah, we should just do like a rating. Ace is the best. And I would give that General Tso's an 8 on a scale of deuce to ace. And then just now, I picked up some sushi. I've had this sushi before. And just from what I know, I would give it a 10 on a scale of 2 through ace. And what did you tip today, MW? I can't believe you'd ask me that. Don't you know I'm down today? No, I didn't tip anything today. Didn't even put anything out for the dealer at all. Nothing. 0. If you want me to tip, I need to win a lot of money, and then you might get a little bit of a sniff of something, but yeah, no tips today. And we got gas on the way down, and I'll need to get gas right before I get home again, so that's okay. And really, what can I say? I mean, brutal week. Last week, brutal week. Week before, brutal. The week before that, brutal. Last 4 months have been really bad. I mean, the last 4 weeks have been really bad. We've made money overall, but just torturous sessions over and over again, and hopefully it'll get better, but it won't be getting better for a while, because here's the deal right now. Sunday, we're doing our overnight trip into Monday morning, and then Monday, Tuesday, I will be in the office and be leaving once or twice to play a few slots, but that's it. Then I'll be on my trip. So right now I'm going to focus on getting home and seeing if I can book that fishing trip, which I still haven't been able to. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to. And just go from there. This weekend I'm going to be painting a bathroom, touching up the other bathroom. The dryer we got delivered is working well, so I haven't even seen what it looks like yet, but I'm hearing good things. So I'm assuming by the time I get home there'll be no laundry left to do, crossing my fingers. And that's it. So on our way to our trip next week, I will be stopping at a casino to pick up some free play, and then on the way back also picking up free play. And while I'm on the trip, I'm going to have someone pick up the free play for me. That combined is about $1,000. I'll end up getting a total of about 800 in EV out of it. So because I'm not going to get the full amount when I sell it to this guy, and what I do is I change my PIN on the app, I let him have it, and then he sends me a Cash App with that money, and then I change the PIN back. So that's what's happening right now. That's assuming that they don't change how much I get, because the new numbers will be out Monday, and for some reason I don't get emails from these guys. They're not blocked. It's not going to my spam. It's not going to my trash. I have no idea why, but I've asked over and over again. They do have my email in the app, and I checked with someone at the rewards desk. They have my email, and I'm not getting it. So I don't know how much I'm getting next month, but depending on how much it is, I may change my structure and where I go and what I do. So that's it right now. Can you hear the rain out there? Yeah, it's raining pretty hard out there, but these are easy roads from here on. So another 2.5 more hours, and I should be home. And I will talk to you guys probably Sunday afternoon. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.